Hello everyone, welcome to the channel. I am Aiyeesha, and in today's video I'm going to be discussing how I grew in confidence and what it's like being an introvert in an extroverted industry. So if you don't know, I'm a dancer, I'm a performer. I work in both the musical theatre world and the commercial world, and obviously, as you can imagine, being in front of people, performing in front of people all the time is not introvert coded. So yeah, I'm going to be discussing how I've managed to combat that and my trials and my tribulations and my story. So if this is something you're interested in, hit the like button and subscribe to the vibe. Click the notification bell so you don't miss out on another video, and just stay tuned. Let's get into it. Let's go. So I've been young, I would say most people would describe me as shy, just because I've been quiet, which is understandable, you know, but it's very annoying. It's been very annoying growing up as a teenager, having people call me shy all the time. But I think even as an adult, just because I'm quiet doesn't mean I'm shy. If I'm comfortable around you, then I'm gonna be my true self, but I don't always feel the need to talk. And just because I don't always feel the need to talk and I'm quiet doesn't necessarily mean that I'm shy. But saying that, I am very self-aware, and when I was younger it was to the extreme. Like in one of my other videos that I recently posted about the 10 questions being a creative, I mentioned how my dance journey started out when I was younger, and I went to my first street dance class and we had to freestyle, and obviously you're in a vulnerable space because it's just you and everyone else around you is just watching you. And I was so self-conscious. I wouldn't say self-conscious in like my body, I was only like a child, but I was self-aware and self-conscious in the sense that I knew people were looking at me and I didn't want that attention. So then I cried. So from young, I've always been self-aware, self-conscious, didn't want anyone to look at me. And then when I was in secondary school, I never used to like eating around anyone, because I just feel like there's something about eating that just shows your character. Obviously I'm not like that anymore, but I am a little bit. But yeah, I try not to be like that anymore. But I didn't want to give anyone ammunition to mock me, basically. I just wanted to be perfect. So yeah, when it came to lunchtime, I would be eating on the sly. Like I'd cover my mouth, take a little bite, I'd chew, cover like this. Even when I'd laugh or something, I'd be covering my face. Don't know why, but I think obviously when you get to secondary school, you're more aware of what you look like and stuff, because up until like from year 6 is when I became aware of my image and what I look like. But year 8, that's when I started to get attention from boys and stuff, so I was very aware of what I look like to other people. So it started somewhere from there. And yeah, so I always wanted to dance. Like I knew I always wanted to do that. And when I was in secondary school, I chose dance as an option, but I think people see, or they have their own ideas of what a dance was supposed to be like. And then when it got to like year 9 and people started jamming in the form rooms, we'd listen to music and stuff, and we'd be having like full-on parties in these classrooms and everyone would be dancing. I was not dancing, I was not rocking out, I was not doing what everyone else was doing. And I remember someone made a comment and was like, oh, something like, oh, like, how can you want to be a dancer and you're not even dancing? Something along those lines. And I was just like, at the time I was like, I don't really remember what I said back or anything like that, but I remember how it made me feel. And I was like, okay, well, do I need to I need to prove myself now? Do I need to prove myself? So that's always stuck in my head. And that's something I've always carried throughout when I go to like social events now. But obviously I'm older now and I'm not going to feel pressured to dance at a party just because I'm a dancer, you know. I get the comment all the time, like if I'm going to, like I went to my cousin's party the other day and one of the owners who I know because I used to work for him, he was like, oh, like, why are you not dancing? And I was like, first of all, they was dancing to bashment, and bashment is just not my vibe. Sorry. I don't openly choose to listen to it. There are a few songs that I like, but I'm not that girl. So I'm not gonna skin out, bruck out. No. So I was just like, no. And he was like, oh, you're a dancer, you're meant to be a dancer, this, that, another. And I was just like, ugh. Back in the day, that would have triggered me, but now I'm just like, whatever. Like, whatever. Dancing at a party, like, it has nothing to do with me as a dancer in my career. But yes, then it got to, I'd say, sixth form. I chose dance, as I would, because I wanted to pursue dance as a proper career. And there was only like 5 other people who chose the dance course. And those 5 other people, however many, didn't take dance as seriously as I did. And people just didn't care. I don't know, like, I don't know why they chose it. But then it made it harder for me, because I was serious about dancing, to get, you know, a good grade, because obviously I had to work with people and stuff like that. And then it got to the end of the first year, and I got a low grade because of other people, basically. And I was just like, nah, I'm not having this. So I decided to leave. I only did 1 year at sixth form, which wasn't like me. Like, up until then, I'd done everything perfectly. I never did anything like that. Like, and it's not advised from the school either, because it looks bad on them if someone leaves. But I was just like, I ain't going down like this. So then I auditioned to go to Lewisham College, which the dance department there was really good, and I got in. And I'd say by that point, because I was already part of a street dance company and we'd done multiple performances, I didn't feel no way about I've never really felt a way about performing for some reason. Obviously when I was younger I had my moment, but as a teenager I was never scared to be on stage. And then when I finished Lewisham College, I went to professional dance school where I did my degree there, and the course was on professional dance and musical theatre. And this is where my confidence just, like, if you really want your confidence tested as a performer, go to drama school, because the things that we had to do will push you out of your comfort zone and you have no choice. It will either make or break you. So yeah, and that's because I was doing things that I hadn't done before, in terms of now I'm on a musical theatre course as well, and I'm having to act and sing. I'd always been able to sing, but I'd never done it. I'd never done it professionally. I'd never done it anywhere else. I'd never had vocal training up until I was placed on this course. And that's where my anxiety was like rising. Like, even for the auditions we had to prepare songs and sheet music and stuff, and that's what I was like freaking out, because I had no idea how to read sheet music. I had no idea what was going on. I was not in that world. And when you feel uncomfortable about something, you're in a vulnerable space and you start to question your abilities, and you'll do it. Well, for me, I'm sure other people can relate, but for me, that's when I'm like, well, like, get choked up, like, can I do this? Am I good at this? When you question yourself too much, that's where your confidence goes like this. This is where, for me, everything started to kind of go a bit like all the way down. So I would say up until going to professional dance school, I was pretty confident in what I could bring to the table and what I could do. Like, I knew what I was able to do and I was passionate about it and I wanted people to see. But then it did get challenged from all of the no's and the setbacks and all of the work that I had to do, which is not a problem. But I think that's definitely where my confidence went down again. Doing in-house auditions for like the school performances and stuff, or seeing other people getting chosen for things that you felt in your heart that you were good at, and that's when I started questioning myself, like, what's going on here? Am I not good enough? What am I doing wrong? So all of those things played a part in my confidence getting knocked. And I was always told that, yeah, like, you can dance, you look the part, all of that good stuff, but you don't have any confidence, but you don't believe in yourself, and it's showing, and just like, oh, what am I supposed to do? Yeah, so then because of that, I started to look at other people and seeing what was working for them and seeing how they were doing well, and I was trying to take from these people, and all in all I'm just losing myself, losing the passion, falling into the people pleasing thing, because now I'm thinking, okay, well, if I look good, if I have the image and I have the skills, why is my confidence not showing through? And then I was like trying too hard. And the thing is, I think when it comes to confidence is to not people please and to trust yourself, believe what you have in here, and just listen to that more. Like, you know yourself the best. Outside noise is gonna throw you off. Yes, constructive criticism is needed, and obviously the mentors and the teachers are there to help you rise. So it's not like they were trying to put me down, but hearing those things from other people did make me go into myself. Although I needed to hear it, it made me go into myself because I didn't know how to get out of that. Yeah, there was a lot of that for a lot of time, a lot of years of me just trying to figure out why things are not working for me. Why can't I just get my confidence to show? And then there's a whole thing of, oh, fake it till you make it. So yes, I had to push like, I was thrown in the deep end. There was challenges that I had to face regardless. Like, I just had to get through it. You do have to push yourself out of your comfort zone to get to the other side, and it is going to be hard. It's going to be a long journey. Yeah, so what I did was just stay resilient. Don't give up. Like, as much as you sometimes feel like you just want to pull back, that's the wrong thing to do, because when you pull back, that means you're letting all of the insecurities and all the comments that have teared you down, once you pull back, you're letting that keep you down, and you're not going to thrive while you're down. So you have to stay resilient and keep on going. I didn't give up, kept on going, kept on pushing myself, kept on going to master classes and workshops and putting myself in uncomfortable situations. So how I grew in confidence in that sense is to keep on keeping on, staying resilient, not quitting on myself and not giving up, first of all. And then secondly, I also joined started an online business, and I became like a district manager. So I had a team of people who I was leading, and of course you need to be aware of yourself. You have to trust yourself in order to lead other people. But when I started off, they introduced personal development, like working on yourself. Did a lot of reading. That's when I started reading, probably the most I've ever done in my life off my own back. I read a lot of books, watched a lot of videos, we had a lot of training sessions, and naturally I just felt it all coming up. So if you're interested in a few of the books I've read, let me know, and I'll do another video and share all of the books that I've read to help with progressing. But yeah, I would say take your time, go at your own pace, trust yourself. Like, you don't need other people to reassure you. You just gotta trust. Like, you already know yourself. Like I said, you know what you have in here, and just stay focused on that rather than looking at other people and what they're doing, because what is working for someone else is not necessarily gonna work for you. In terms of being an introvert and being in an extroverted industry, which is the performing world, like I said before, I've never really had a confidence issue when it comes to being on stage. As in, like, I don't get scared, I'm not conscious of people looking at me or anything like that. My issue is when I'm in classes or if I'm in an audition setting, I'm thinking too much about how to, well, this is in the past, I'm thinking too much about how to please the panel or give them what they're looking for, rather than, or like think about what they're looking for, rather than just trusting what I have and showing them my whole self. And I think that's the key. Like, they see people all the time, they don't want to see copycats of other people, they want to see fresh energy, they want to see you being yourself. If you are always trying to copy someone else or be like someone else, you're never really gonna win. And if you are showing your true self, that could be the one thing that sparks something off somewhere for someone that could make them be like, oh, I didn't know I needed this, but yes, I love that, I'm here for it. That's why I always say always win by being yourself. It's hard, especially when you're younger, because you don't know. You think you know yourself, you think you know, but you don't know. And you do need these challenges to pull you out, and it's character building. It makes you who you are. Yeah, so as I've gotten older, I've obviously built a relationship with myself. The best relationship I have and will ever have is with myself. There's nothing wrong with being an introvert. It's okay. And I see online now there's loads of communities about being an introvert, so it's nice that we can all find each other and we can relate to each other. There's some people who are extroverted in the dance industry and it works for them because they're not afraid and they're bold and they're not too shy to speak to people. And I think being an introvert in an extroverted industry, you do need to adapt. I wouldn't say it's changing yourself, it's more so challenging yourself, because sometimes it's not good to sit back, it's not good to go into yourself in that world, because you will miss out. I'm someone who I'm just like, if I'm here, I'm here. Like, I don't really care to make myself known, but in the industry that can be an issue because you want to make yourself known. So that's one thing I would say, is you do need to be a bit more forward and direct than you usually would be in your normal life. And I feel like I've had this conversation before when it comes to like Americans versus British people. They say that British people are way too polite, in the sense that Americans are not, like, they're bold and they're not afraid to, like, push people out the way. Not physically push people out the way, but like they're not afraid to make themselves known. And after hearing that, that's something I will take with me even more. Like, when I'm at auditions, I am here. Like, I am here, so I'm not gonna hide myself. I've come here to be seen, so here I am, you know. Like, in my normal world, I would just sit, like, I'm here, but like I don't need to say hello. Whereas at an audition, I do need to say hello, look at me, I'm here. It is a journey. These things will take time. Don't try and rush. Don't try, just be. Don't try, just be. They do say, you know, this quote, finding yourself is a task of a lifetime, or something like that. You're always changing, you're always evolving, you're always adapting. So take your time on your personal development journey. But in this career, certain things do need the pace. Like, you do need to be ready. I would take that on board for sure. Never smile up yourself. Never in this industry, never. And I'm not saying be obnoxious, and I'm not saying be over the top, but definitely make yourself known in a respectful manner. Otherwise, you're just gonna sink and other people will take your place. There's another quote I'm sure you've seen or heard somewhere before that says, no one is you and that is your superpower. So again, do the work for yourself. Trust yourself, love yourself, be yourself always, and project that. Never apologize for being yourself, basically. I would always do that without knowing. I've realized that when I am good at something, I never want to make someone feel bad for not being good at that too, so I will just humble it down. But in doing so, I've actually damaged and delayed my own progress. I don't like to tell people to be humble for that reason. Never be humble in the sense that you're hiding elements of yourself that are great. Okay, so I've made some points. They're not in any particular order, but it's just something that you can take away from this video to help you stay confident and to help you thrive as an introvert in an extroverted industry, which in this case is the performing arts world. So I would say to spend time alone, talk to yourself out loud. And what I learned while I had an online business is this thing of acting as if. Just practicing, maybe practice being at an audition what you're going to do, how you're going to present yourself, stand at the front, your body language. Just practice a few things on your own first to get comfortable with it. Practice moving around. Just do whatever in the comfort of your own space without anyone looking at you first of all. My second point I would say is to find an environment to put that into practice. So go to a class where it's not so serious, you know, it's literally just a class, and in your mind act as if it's on an audition. Everything that you've been practicing alone, that energy, that vibe, step at the front, say hello to the teacher when they come in, say thank you and bye when you leave, all of that sort of etiquette, and don't hide yourself away at the back. It's not a problem standing at the back, but you know, I watched an episode of Making the Band where the first round of auditions, he sent everyone that was standing at the back home because he was like, if you're standing at the back then you don't want to be here. That's not always the case. Sometimes it's just you're too shy, or you're too scared to be at the front, but look what can happen when you stand at the back. So yeah, that's my point. Find other things then to challenge yourself in. You'll never progress and you'll never thrive if you're always doing the same things that you're comfortable with. It feels nice, but you need to find something else that you're uncomfortable with. Maybe don't let it be something that you're trying to pursue professionally. Put that into practice and then take the mindset that you had of being like, okay, I'm not great at this, but I'm gonna challenge myself and I'm gonna keep on pushing myself until I believe that I can get to the stage where I'm actually good enough and comfortable within myself. And then this goes on to the next point, which is don't quit on yourself. You don't want to have any regrets. You don't want to keep on wondering what if. So I would just keep on going. Next, I would say to never hide any elements of yourself that you believe are great. You could have something original that the world needs to see. And never apologize for being yourself, and never be too humble in that sense. I've said that already before. Do lots of reading. If you find it hard to read, then there are videos, like I said, on YouTube. But yeah, there's loads of self-help books that I read and things that I learned along the way and things that helped me realize certain things. So yeah, always find new ways to stay educated, especially when it comes to yourself. Say no to people pleasing. Don't get dragged into always doing stuff for other people, and just do more for yourself. You will have to take some extroverted traits and swap them out for some of the introverted ones that you already have, specifically to thrive. I'm gonna look up some extrovert traits and just say some ones that I think will help you in the performing arts industry. Extroversion is a broad personality trait that includes many specific characteristics such as sociability, assertiveness, energy, action orientated, and adaptability. And I think these are all traits that actually really are needed to be a performer. The first one is sociability. Networking in this industry is great because most of the time it's about who you know. Not always, but it helps. So you do have to open your mouth and speak and talk to different people. Assertiveness, instead of being too humble in that industry, I'd say to be more assertive, put yourself forward more. This says extroverts are often expressive and strong communicators who like to share their thoughts and ideas with others. So don't be afraid to show what you've got or say your thoughts and put your own opinions out there. The next one is energy. You don't ever want to walk into the room being the audition room, giving off anxious or shy. That's gonna make the panel feel some type of way, and then they're gonna feel uncomfortable because they can tell that you feel uncomfortable. I'm not saying to come into the room being like definitely not, but just smile, you know, show the teeth, walk in, say hello, you know, present yourself well mannered. That's all. You don't need to be rowdy, you don't need to pretend to be like a bubbly person if that's not you, but you do need to have a bright energy when you walk in the room and when you're dancing. And then it says action orientated. Extroverts may be spontaneous and impulsive, and they may enjoy taking risks. Yes, take the risks. Do something you haven't done before. Never play it safe as a dancer or a performer. Push your, like, see what you can do. Like, push yourself over the limit, beyond. Don't just cap yourself. This last one says adaptability. Extroverts may often lead group outings and other social events. They may also work well in groups and like to get positive verbal feedback, especially in public. Yeah, so what I'm going to pinpoint on this, the point about working well in a group. I'm someone who doesn't actually like to work in groups, but obviously as a dancer performer, you're never really gonna be performing on your own. So that's something you will have to adapt, get comfortable with working with other people. And whilst you're working with other people, don't be afraid to voice your own opinions. Like when I'm working in groups, I've not always put my points out there because I feel like they might be overlooked or people won't get it. But then that's the art in you, you know, that's the art in you. Okay, so off the back of reading out those extroverted traits, I've come across this article or whatever that says signs you might be an introvert. So they have some points here, and I'm just going to say which ones I think also work in the industry. You are reflective, which is I think that's a good trait to have as a dancer. The next one is also you are self-aware. Like, you always want to be aware of how you're presenting yourself. One of them, which is probably the last one I'm going to read out, says that you daydream or use your imagination to work out a problem. I don't think there's anything wrong with daydreaming, especially as an artist. Everything happens up here. Like, this is where it starts. It's all in the mind. So again, I don't think there's anything wrong with that. However, do not daydream when you're in front of important people. Like, if you're in a class and you're away with the fairies, it's gonna look like you're rude, even though you're not. But it's like you're not giving them enough attention, or you're being disrespectful to the people who are in front of you. So again, I would just be aware of your daydreaming whilst you're around people. At the same time, there's nothing wrong with it. Well, for me personally, me and my imagination are best friends, and that's where all of the ideas and the magic happens, is up here. I'm gonna leave it there, and I feel like it was a bit all over the place, but I hope you were able to take something away from this video. And let me know if you found it interesting, or if you're struggling with anything. We can have a little conversation in the chat box down below. But yes guys, love yourself, be yourself always. Thank you for watching. I am Aiyeesha. Don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe if you're not subscribed already. Love.